to suffer for my personal gain, and the animal industries, the cruelty that goes on, I don't think it's right to, it goes against my morals and everything I stand for, and it's not right.
How long have you been vegan?
I think around 2 years now, and yeah, I've been doing animal activism for most of the time, yeah.
What made you just switch to veganism?
Well, I think my mum was a really strong part of it, because it was her that showed. Yeah, I was vegetarian for most of my life. I wanted to go vegetarian. We were pescatarian, and I chose to go vegetarian. And then my mum also went vegetarian. And then my mum was when she was pregnant with my baby brother. She was watching some footage. I think she found something on Facebook, and when I knew, I decided to go vegan as well.
And what about, what do you miss?
Well, at the start it was a little bit hard, especially when I went to my dad's house, but now I'm just thinking, I went vegan for a reason, and now I just can't even imagine myself actually eating animals. I don't really crave anything anymore because there's so many vegan alternatives to any food you eat. But I think when I first went vegan, I did miss more sweet foods like chocolate. But now I still eat sweet food. So, yeah.
Tell us, is it hard being vegan?
I don't find it hard, especially since I have pretty supportive parents since I'm still a child and I'm living under their household. But at my dad's house, I've got no one else who's vegan. So, but I don't really find it very hard still. I think mainly the hardest thing is maybe accessibility, but the more people that go vegan, the more accessible it would go. So if it's available in shops, more things available in more places.
Do you ever feel jealous of other people eating that?
Not really. I'm more if I do feel jealousy, I just think, what about the animals? So, why are you vegan?
I went vegan because I really don't think it's fair that we should kill animals just for our benefits. We can have everything that we can have when we're not vegan, except without killing animals.
How do you feel when you see people eating meat?
Well, I feel a bit like that it's not a very good. Well, it's not a very kind choice to choose to eat someone's body just because it might taste good.
What made you want to start animal activism?
Well, my friends went, and then I wanted to go do it too. So.
Have you ever felt what was hardest for you to go, for you to miss? What do you miss, or what was hardest to get rid of?
Well, I can still have this, but I used to miss just being able to go into a shop and buy sweet stuff.
Yeah, it might be a little bit cheaper, maybe. Yeah. Do you ever feel like you want to try non-vegan food since you haven't tried it for so long?
Well, not really. I just think about how many killing went into that.
Well, How long have you been vegan?
I've been vegan for, well, I started going vegan when I was in year 2 or 3ish, so around 3 years.
Were you like, how long have you been doing activism?
Around a year-ish.
Would you encourage others to do animal activism?
Yes.
If you could say one thing to meat eaters and non-vegan people, what would it be?
Well, it's not that hard to go vegan when you get used to it, because you can just have the same things except vegan.
Thank you.
How long have you been vegan for?
I've been vegan my whole life since birth, and I've been doing activism for I think 2 or 3 years.
What made you start to do activism?
Well, what happened was, I've done activism for quite a while, but I started doing AV when my friend's mum said to my mum we should do AV, and then one day we all went together, and then from that day on we've been going basically every week.
And do you think it's fair that the animals should die?
No, not at all. I think people are just greedy and selfish.
Yeah. Do you ever get jealous of the food that you can't eat?
No, because it's just, on one hand it's disgusting, and on the other it's just rude to the animals.
Since you've never had it, do you ever wonder what it would taste like?
Well, not really, because I don't want to really know. Hey, why are you vegan?
I'm vegan for the animals
And why did you go vegan?
because I saw a pig being murdered in real life. I was walking up a road in the Philippines, and I accidentally came across a pig being murdered behind a house. It horrified me, and I realised I was the person paying for it to be killed. Even though I wasn't paying for that pig to be killed, I realised I was responsible. And then I found a friend on Facebook shortly after who introduced me to veganism, and I've been vegan since that day.
How long have you been vegan?
It's just coming up for 5 years now.
And do you ever get jealous of people?
Do I ever
Get jealous?
jealous of what?
People eating non-vegan stuff?
No, not at all.
You don't miss anything?
No, I missed the cruelty. That's all I'm missing out on.
If you had one message you could say to people, what would it be?
Be who you say you are. If you're against animal cruelty, actually be against animal cruelty. Don't just say it. That's talk. Walk the walk. Be vegan.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, hi. How long have you been vegan for?
I've been vegan for 3.5 years.
And what made you go vegan?
My younger son Connor, he watched a documentary and then told me about it. I didn't have the courage at the time to watch it myself, but after he went vegan, I decided that I could. I was already vegetarian for 30 years, and then I just decided to cut out the other animal products.
And
Nothing really. Nothing really. At first, no. I mean, like everybody says, I like cheese, but then once I realised what cruelty was behind cheese, I just gave it up. I didn't miss it.
And do you ever crave or get jealous of people who eat?
Not at all. Not at all. Because now I just look at those products and I automatically see the cruelty behind them.
And if you could tell anyone, any non-vegan or meat eater something, what would you say, Ryan?
I would say most people love animals and I don't think they should suffer for taste buds when there's absolutely no need to.
How long have you been doing activism for?
About 2.5 years.
And would you recommend activism and going vegan to anyone else?
To go vegan? Yeah, absolutely. And activism, yeah, that's sort of one of my passions that I say to people. Become vegan, but then come out and stand alongside us and you know, be the voice for the voiceless.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
What made you go vegan?
Watching, there was a protest in the city about 2 years ago, a big one that was all over the news, and I saw a girl with a little sign that said "Watch Dominions," and so I went home and watched it. And also, I've got a lot of rescued parrots, and at home I have a parrot that sits on my shoulder all the time. And I had all these rules for him because I was too scared that he was going to, when I was cooking, he's not allowed in the kitchen, because I had all these rules for him. I was scared that he was going to fly off my shoulder and land in the frying pan, because he'd see the fruit and veggies and he'd just see the food. And then one day I went to cook a chicken in the oven, and I just realised how could I be cooking a chicken while I love birds? It didn't make sense.
And how long have you been vegan for?
2 years in April, and after I watched Dominions, I never had meat or eggs again straight away. It probably took me about 2 months later before I gave up milk and cheese, because I didn't have that contact with the slaughter yards with meat and dairy.
What food do you think you miss the most that's not vegan?
Maybe ice cream, but then I discovered that I like gelati. There's not really any food I miss the most, because now I'm eating more foods with more variety, and yeah, so there's not really any food that I really miss.
And if you could say one thing to the meat eaters and non-vegans right now, what would you say?
To meat eaters
And non-vegans.
and non-vegans.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I really think they've got a responsibility to look at where their money is going and the suffering abuse that they're supporting by supporting meat, egg and dairy. Yeah.
And for you, what do you think the worst industry is?
The worst? I think they're all bad. I think the chicken's most common, that so many people are chicken. I think they're all bad. I don't know if it's all pain and suffering. I can't say which one's worse. I know chicken's the most common and they have a lot more worse procedures, but I can't pick one. They're all bad.
Why are you vegan?
I'm vegan because I saw a reportage about the animal cruelty. I saw how they kill them. Inside me, something's changing. I understand it's wrong what we do, and I choose to be vegan.
How long have you been vegan for?
I'm vegan from 1 year, for January 2020.
Do you do
Yes, every Saturday we are here in Melbourne, in Burke Street, all together for show how the animal be tricked, how they kill them, and how we can change that all together.
What do you miss the most, or what was hardest to give up when you went vegan?
Honest with you, nothing. When I saw the animal in the eyes suffer, I understand it was wrong. Anything is from them is not for us, and we need to change for that.
Yeah. Would you recommend going vegan?
Yes, of course. First for the animal, second for your healthy, and three for the environment, for the planet, because the earth is dying.
If you could say one thing to non-meat eaters, meat eaters or non-vegans, what would you say?
What I say is make peace with your soul and with your conscience, and see the animal for what they are.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.